We're here to talk about a brand that guides people to be the best you and getting people to step up on the Impact Brand Doctor podcast with Rich Kozak. Check out these rich strategy nuggets you can use right now. This is the Impact Brand Doctor podcast with Rich Kozak. Here we positively uplift possibilities for brands in straight talk you can trust. Do you need more clarity to move your brand forward? Are you at the locked gate to the next level of your brand? Bring your challenges and your vision right here to the Brand Doctor podcast. Today, we are lifting up the brand journey of my friend Bernardo Moya. He is the visionary founder of a phenomenal brand, The Best You and The Best You TV. I wish I had created that brand. Author of the recently released book, just late last year, A Man Evolving. Writing that book was an act of courage. Thank you, Bernardo. The creator of The Love Event. Seriously, life is the love event, and he created The Love Event. I love that, Bernardo. Bernardo speaks to people worldwide who want to become the best version of themselves, and he speaks to speakers and transformational coaches and serves them at his events who help others become the best version of themselves. And the reason we're meeting today is because he is the producer and event host of the Best You Expo, a huge event that he has done on several continents, 6 times live. This is the 7th live, I think 10 times in all. There have been a couple of virtual ones. Bernardo Moya, I know that many of our listeners' businesses and lives will benefit from what they hear on this show today. So welcome, my friend. It is great that you are here as my guest.
Rich, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and always a pleasure to speak to you with your amazing positive energy. I love it.
Well, I want you to take us back. This is such a powerful brand, The Best You. Take us back to your vision for creating the brand when you had initially, and you were doing it. What were you thinking? What did you envision? And then we'll go forward about the challenges it took to brand it and what those challenges are today. What was it like in the beginning?
Well, it was one of those things. I changed careers, because I had to, because I was in real estate and I didn't do well for the second time in my mid 40s, and I wanted to do something new. I wanted to start something different. So I was always very interested in personal development, but I got very into NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. I learned from the co-creator, Dr. Richard Bandler. I became a practitioner, then a master practitioner, then a trainer, and an opportunity arose, which a lot of the times, happens. And sometimes, these opportunities, people don't follow them. But I did, which was about becoming his promoter, because, a friend of mine thought I might be good at it. And that was it. I decided to change careers. I started promoting Richard Bandler in London, and it was challenging times because it was, when the economy was really bad. It was through putting these events together and obviously seeing the amazing energy that these events brought and all these trainings brought, that I started really identifying that the personal professional growth industry was pretty fragmented, where everyone does their own thing. Robert Kiyosaki did his thing, and Tony Robbins did his thing, and I thought, well, why aren't people getting all together? Where those people that aren't such big names do have an opportunity to share their expertise, their wisdom, their love, their energy. And that's where I came up with this idea of not only having one stage, but multiple stages, and bringing everyone together, being anti-niche. And that's where the whole idea. And so in my mind, I always visualize a brand, being very visual always, about being a multi-platform. So I wanted to have a magazine, and I wanted to have an online platform, and a TV network, and the events. So all these things started becoming a reality. I did the magazine for a number of years, and then we launched the Best You Expo. That's where it came from.
Awesome. Well, I give you a tremendous amount of credit. I'm going to call you a trend setter because of those things that you did differently. Your early engagement into multimedia, particularly into owning Best You TV, was something that put you on my wavelength years ago when you and I first met, and you were in Argentina and I was in Los Angeles. We were talking on a Zoom call, and I told you, I've been tracking you for years, and you're looking at me like, what? Well, I'm on a lot of lists. Okay, kind of and it was, I was impressed, and I love the brand at that point. So In the early stages, what were the initial challenges making that brand work and getting accepted by your target audience of people who want to be their best you?
Well, the challenge has been that, kind of making sure that we would stand out from, from the rest. It's not just another event. And also it wasn't just another sales fest. I think we've all attended a lot of these events where, kind of like, you're just simply there to be sold at, So I wanted to bring quality. I wanted to bring credibility. I wanted to bring a massive variety of experts. So it was really about positioning ourselves as an event that was different, as an event that really focused and concentrated on what brings us together in really trying to find ways for us to become a better version of ourselves. Of course, I went for that name. There were other names like, the average you or the worst you, and I didn't think that would work because everyone would kept saying, and that was it, Rich. It was you, like you, the best you. I want to become the best version you can be. We hear it so frequently, and I started Googling. I said, is there a brand out there that's called like that? And there wasn't. There was an award thing. There was something. I said, hey, it's mine. So it actually started with the best you can be, and then I left it with the best you, and we created the whole branding around the B. Which has the life without limits, idea. But look, I've got this mad vision that we're all here on the planet for a reason, and we need to explore what that reason. And we all are responsible. We have to be responsible for contributing, for being part of the solution, to elevating consciousness, and that comes from us becoming better humans. If I'm a better person, people around me are going to become better. It's like you, people walk around you, there's good energy, they feel good. It's the same. So we're obliged to become a better version of ourselves. And if it's not because of ourselves, it's because our kids, our surroundings, our family, our cities, our towns. And I, if anything, I want people to wake up, to step up to that sense of responsibility, in a time where everything seems lost and everything has a cost, love and bringing people together can make the difference.
You're amazing, and I'm going to lift up the power of your brand in a way. Every time we do the Impact Brand Doctor podcast, I offer at least 2 rich strategy nuggets, and I'm going to take Bernardo's lead and point out this rich strategy nugget. Thank you, Bernardo. Intangible, and please, if you're listening, write this down. Intangible brand promises are the strongest brands. They are magnetic. What is an intangible brand promise? It is putting words together in a way that makes people sense that there's something in the brand that they want. It's not literal. It's not explicit. It's not tangible. It doesn't say we're the lowest cost TVs. It's like too tangible. Sorry. Okay. It would have to say TVs that change your life. Oh, I want to change my life. Okay. So there's an intangible brand promise in Bernardo's brand, the best you, the love event, that by in experiencing it as an event or as a TV channel network, as a magazine, that you have the opportunity and you might get help to become a better you and the best you can be. For people who are ready to do that, and not everyone is. I was going to joke before that, maybe you should have tried calling it Mediocrity Fest because it'll be a larger target audience, but sorry. That was kind
the
of
average.
Let's not. Well, you had the average, right? But sorry. No, the best you. That's where we're going. And your points that we're responsible and we're all on a path of enlightenment and we're all here for a reason. Look, God didn't create us to just walk around, bump into each other. We're here to share love. We're here to praise Him, and we're here to do something. And so, moving toward what we're here for is huge. So the rich strategy nugget: intangible brand promises are the strongest brands. They are magnetic. And here's how you know you've got one. People will flip their head on the side like a dog when you go Raleigh, and the dog goes and turns his head. Okay. Or whatever your dog's name is. Sorry. and I'm not a dog guy, so if I, offended dog people, I'm sorry. But those dogs are so cute when they do that. Sparky, and the Sparky goes, okay, and people do that. So I watch people do that with the Best You Expo. It was at an event with Bernardo 2 nights ago in Beverly Hills, of all places, and people listened to what he said about the love event, and there were people there with their heads turned slightly on their side, realizing that this is a special place, that when they're there as a speaker or as an attendee or as a media person, that they're a part of something that is huge. In Bernardo's case, I will point out that, and we're going to be talking about the challenge of branding it in a moment, and what makes it unique. Its uniqueness is it is in the self-development industry, this world of personal and self-development. It's so huge and so active. And the huge challenge becomes positioning the brand, even though it has a phenomenal name, in a way that gets it credit for what it's really outstanding at. Positioning that Best You Expo and Best You TV uniquely to stand out in a special way that gets you credit, because that's what branding creates. Perceptions to get you credit for what's really outstanding at, and what your brand is really outstanding at. And it's remarkable, is creating an environment of love and honoring others, of love and self-worth, of love and uplifting possibilities in individuals for how they impact the world that they touch, and how they deliver, what they do and what the significance they make. You create that environment in a way that moves people forward to a significant and more meaningful life, and more love and better relationships. And it's all based in love. That's pretty powerful. And if you get credit for that, it's an even bigger magnet. So we're less than a month away from your 7th live, the Best You Expo. I know you're focused on all kinds of production challenges. Is the biggest challenge standing out among all the other things that are happening in the category of self-development and personal self-development, and getting credit? Am I partly right, at least, that that's part of the challenge these days, to make sure that the magnets are on and it attracts people because they know how meaningful it can be to their lives to be a part of it and experience it?
Yes, absolutely. The challenge is that. The challenge is to create that awareness that this is an event that is different to anything else that they've attended, and that obviously, is driven by that common denominator that we all have. I'm saying all the speakers, the sponsors, the partners, the exhibitors, everyone that's involved, that we're all coming from a place of love, where we're all really looking at ways for us to contribute more towards the planet. And because there's so much variety with what we do, that there's something for everyone. I've experienced it so many times. People come for something or see a specific speaker, and all of a sudden they find themselves sitting in another room, and all of a sudden, something ignites in their life and they change their career. I've seen it many, many, many times, and I've experienced it. And it's been a beautiful feeling. That's the challenge. The challenge is also to kind of get people to step forward, to come up. I always say that sometimes, ideas are like sometimes those ideas come in, and sometimes there's a size of petrol tankers. They're massive, but people still choose to ignore them. People still choose to not see it because they prefer to hide. They prefer to kind of stay at home or do a barbecue or do whatever else. And it's only those that step up and take action. I believe that there's 3 types of people on the planet. There's those that are maybe in their mid-30s and they're already dead. And I'm saying they're already dead because they don't really have high hopes that they can achieve or do anything or become anyone different. There's those that are looking at others going and making a difference, and those that are going out there and inspiring others. And then there's those that go and make things happen, makes things happen. And that's kind of what we need. We need more people to step up, as I said before. And so the challenge is to position ourselves that people really appreciate and understand that we're coming from a place where, there's deep love in what we do. But, it's also part of a process that I think is so needed nowadays. We need to find what connects us, what brings us together. what can we do? What makes us, what do we all want? What do we all like? What would we all desire for ourselves and our kids? And that's what the expo is. And, kind of, it's one of those things you've got to tap and tap and tap and tap and just continue doing it. But, luckily, we have a big tribe, a lot of people that believe in the same things that we do, that follow us and make it happen.
Bernardo, I'm going to lift you up again here. We'll talk about how to get credit for what makes it unique in a second. But I want to lift you up and say, you just really did a call out. There are going to be thousands and thousands of people who hear this podcast because it will launch next Thursday, a good week before the event. And so if you're listening and you go to thebestyouexpo.com, you can get a free ticket. And you don't have to fly to Los Angeles or drive into LA. You can see this online. You can participate virtually. I was in a room the other night filled with people. And by the time I came out of there after 2 hours, I had people in my network who were never in my network before, whom I am so glad to have in my network now because of the quality of what they do in the world, that I know them and they know me. And the same thing will happen to you. Even if you go virtually, you will meet people, you will see people, you will hear presentations. How many stages do you have? You have this number of stages speak to the variety. You have empowering women stage. You have a speakers stage. You have a business profit stage, right? There's all these kinds of stages.
Yeah, listen, look, I want to make this event accessible to anyone and everyone around the world. So obviously the idea that we stream it is important to me too. Obviously, what people do need to realize is that, we do not stream everything. We can't stream the 9 rooms. We only stream a very small fraction of what's happening at the event. So I would highly recommend for people, if you can, make it, get there, because, you've got 9 stages. And it's also, for me, Rich, it's about, I understand the advantages of streaming and being online. But I had 3 years of that. I want to connect. I want to meet people. I want to hug people. I want to be able to be in a space where we can all connect and see each other and hug each other. Because, hey, listen, at the end of I'm looking at it, the pandemic took 5% of my life.
I experienced that hugging in microcosm just at an event the other night, and literally came home with a handful of, actually multiple handfuls of people in my network that I'd never met before. So, so there you go. Thebestyouexpo.com. Get a free ticket, participate, get on the list, meet some people, hear some presentations. It could probably be a blessing to your life and to your business. And now let's talk about getting credit for what makes you unique. What makes you unique is creating that environment where people are uplifted and they come out of the environment having been moved forward, moving themselves forward, finding people that help them move forward with their lives into a more significant life, more love and better relationships, and more significant life, stepping into maybe closer to their purpose of why they're here. So what is the best way, if you're listening to this and you are making an impact on people, you're an impact brand, and you're not getting credit for what makes you outstanding? Here's the rich strategy nugget. Use testimonials in the language of your brand. So there are certain characteristics that you must get credit for in order to make the impacts you're making. Make sure that you use testimonials that have those characteristic words in them, because when the testimonials come out of the mouth of those who have experienced your work, who have been touched by your gift, in Bernardo's case, who have experienced the Best You Expo and those they met there and what happened to their lives and their broader network and moving forward just because they experienced it. When they use their words to explain it, the whole thing comes alive and makes it way more real. And that coming alive and making it real is a powerful magnet. Use the rich strategy nugget, use the testimonials of others in the language of the brand to create a magnet that attracts people to the brand. Hey, in this episode of the Brand Doctor podcast, we have lifted up the brand journey amazing brand journey of Bernardo Moya, who is the visionary founder of the Best You brands, Best You, the Best You Expo, and the Best You TV. He is producing his 10th, 7th live, The Best You Expo. Please go to thebestyouexpo.com, get a free ticket. March 3rd, 4th, and 5th at the Los Angeles Convention Center. He is the author of the book that just released, A Man Evolving. He is a speaker and a motivator to so many people, and he puts love in the room and love in your life and gets us all moving toward purpose. And today you gained insight into using intangible brand promise to magnetize your target audience in a more powerful way, and insight into overcoming that sameness, that perception of parity, that what, by getting credit for what makes you different, the use of testimonial in your brand language. Hey, you'll get contacts for this amazing Bernardo Moya and the Best You brands in the show notes. Do go to thebestyouexpo.com and get your free tickets for the Best You Expo coming up in less than a month now. Take advantage of all that Bernardo's brands have to offer. And even more information will be available by emailing us directly to our email address, rich@richbrands.org. Hey, the Impact Brand Doctor podcast is dedicated to bringing you strategies and actions to take your brand to its next level. So from our heart to yours, we encourage you to subscribe to the Impact Brand Doctor podcast and check out the other episodes for the strategy nuggets and action items that are in those episodes that you can take right now. We'll speak with you again in our next episode. And remember, now is the time to define the brand you will become. This is Rich Kozak and Bernardo Moya, the Best You Expo. Get your ticket.
Thank you so much, Rich. Thank you so much. Lovely being here.
God bless, brother.